So I'm just going to do a quick video here because something happened to me a few years ago that I'm finding it kind of hard to let go a little bit, and I want to explain this to people and how this transpired and what actually happened, because it kind of annoys me that the police can get away with this kind of thing, right? Now, some people might agree with me, some people might disagree with me, but hear me out anyway, right? So, me and my father are going to pick up a kayak in Loch Gilphead or something like that, which is up in the Highlands of Scotland. And as we're joining the roundabout, with cars in front of me and whatnot, as we're joining the roundabout, a Land Rover, a Range Rover flies into the roundabout next to me on the right hand side at a speed, because the roundabout has traffic lights, so it flies into the roundabout on my right hand side and nearly hits me, and I have to actually evade, make an evasive action to stop it from hitting me. The relevance to this is the passenger of that vehicle was actually an off-duty police officer from this police station, which is in Paisley, and that was her husband that was driving. Now, on exiting the roundabout also, he nearly hit me also. He cut across all three lanes right in front of me and nearly hit me, and then sped off up the bypass. So I just carried on as usual anyway. I wasn't driving that fast a car anyway, so I was never going to catch him. But he'd slowed down and was driving behind another vehicle. So I went to overtake him. This was like quite a long bypass, so I'd speeded up to like 70, and he was going slower. I don't know what the rush was to start with, but he was going slower at that point. And he then drove past me. Then I went to overtake him on the bypass, and he purposely cut me off, and I had to slam on the brakes to stop him from actually hitting me, which I thought was quite, aggressive, you know what I mean, and whatnot. And I was like, this guy's an idiot, you know what I mean. But then all the way up, like when he did that, and then he pulled back into his own lane, so he did it on purpose. And then further up that road, he was just tailgating me non-stop. I mean, like excessive tailgating. Now, the law has changed recently, and tailgating has actually become a dangerous driving act. It's come under the Dangerous Driving Act, so I think it's like Rule 192 or something like that it comes under. But nevertheless, I got out the car because by the point of maybe like 30 or 40 miles of him tailgating me all the way into the Highlands, I decided to get out of the car when there was some roadworks and ask him what his problem was. I basically got out and went, "What is your fucking problem? What are you doing?" You know what I mean? And obviously, I wasn't polite about it. I don't deny that. But the woman in the passenger seat pulled out a little warrant card, like a police ID card, and claimed to be a police officer, and said she's going to report me. And I was like, "You're a police officer? You should know better. Are you serious?" And then obviously from that point I thought, you know what, I'll make a complaint, you know what I mean? So I made a complaint about the situation, and I ended up getting charged. So I got charged with Section 38, which is threatening behaviour. And I was thinking to myself, hold on a sec, this guy was endangering mine and my father's lives all the way up that road. He nearly hit me 3 times, twice on the roundabout, and then tried to purposely hit me, and I had to hammer on the brakes when I was overtaking them on the bypass. So I was like, how the hell am I getting charged for this? And unfortunately, officers that actually came into my house and charged me, they had actually said to me, look, this woman is a police officer out of Paisley police station, and I think her name was Finney or something like that, Finney. And she's a police officer out of this. I don't know how high up in the ranks she is here, but her husband's name was Martin, Martin Feeney or Finley or something like that. I can't remember. It's like an F. But nevertheless, I went up to court to plead not guilty, obviously, and I actually told the truth. I told them exactly what happened. I told them I got out of the vehicle and I confronted them and whatnot. And but what they'd actually said in their statement was that I got out of the car and I walked up to the window and offered him out. I says, get out of the car, I'm going to do you in, or something like that, right? Something to that effect. I can't actually 100% remember. But what they'd actually said in their statement was actually a lie. And so I was contesting that, but I had actually said to the judge and whatnot, obviously, this is the situation, this is the situation they'd put us in. We were in the Highlands, there's no police anywhere, so even if I was to phone the police and ask for help, that would take them so long to get there, and by that point they would be gone anyway. So I got out and dealt with it myself. But in Scotland, there are laws that state that you can't do that. You can't get out and confront other drivers, even if they are endangering you. So I still got charged. I still got prosecuted with this Section 38, even though any other country in the world, what I did was perfectly justified. But in Scotland, you're not allowed to deal with situations like that yourself. You have to rely on the police non-stop all the time anyway. And I'm just like, well, the police are understaffed, or supposedly they're understaffed, and their workload is excessive. So why would I bother the police with this when I can just get out of the car and ask him what his fucking problem was? Excuse my French, right? But there's no need for what he did. There's no need for what he was doing. And but I still get charged with Section 38 and whatnot. But when this Martin Feeney and his wife, the police officer, the off-duty police officer, took the stand, they actually lied quite a lot about the situation. He said that the reason he sped past me the way he did at the roundabout was because I was driving erratically and he had been following me from before the Erskine Bridge, which was actually a lie, because I knew who was behind me the whole way, and it wasn't him. So there was no reason for that, and he stood up there, he blatantly lied. So did his wife, who was an off-duty police officer. So she's an off-duty police officer, and she's blatantly lying in the court. And here's the thing about the whole thing. At the end, when the prosecution fiscal and the judge and my lawyer were all sitting discussing the case as to whether or not they were going to charge me, whether they're going to prosecute me with it or not. Fucking cold this morning. They actually said to me that there's a police car going past there. They actually said to me, we don't believe anything that they have said, but because you admitted to getting out of the vehicle, that means that you're guilty. Even though that wasn't what I was charged with. Getting out of the vehicle wasn't actually what I was charged with, but getting out of the vehicle is against the law, so you're not allowed to do that. They've just pulled in here. I wonder if they're going to come and speak to me about this story that I'm doing. Probably will. They like to throw the weight around a bit. I don't know if anybody's been watching these videos online recently. But the whole situation was, he caused it, I got out of the vehicle, and I still got charged because I got out of the vehicle. It's actually against the rules to get out of the vehicle. You're not allowed to get out of the vehicle anymore, even though these police officers are probably just about to get out of the vehicle. But hey ho, we'll see what happens. But that's the situation that we're in Scotland. Under no circumstances are you allowed to defend yourself. If you've got a means of escape, or if you've got a means of getting away, then you're not allowed to defend yourself. You're not allowed to stand your ground. And if you do, you are breaking the law also. You know what I mean? So I don't know if this Martin Feeney's wife still works here. Probably does still work here, but get the feeling it's possibly a bit of a shift change at the moment. These guys look like they're just heading out for a day's work. And there's another copper there. I don't know where he went, but it's quite a big police station, this, actually. I think they've got holding cells and whatnot, and they've got this little lowered car park in here. I'm not going to walk down there. I'm just going to stay on the public sidewalk here, or public pavement, because I could imagine they would take it personally if I went down there and started filming, even though it doesn't actually say I can't go down there. It says no public parking, police vehicles only, and no entry, which I think is in reference to police vehicles. You know what I mean? But this is all public land here, so I can film from here, no problem. But yeah, so that's the situation, and the police officer blatantly lied. Like, the off-duty police officer and the judge and the prosecution fiscal and my lawyer, they all went, oh, well, we don't really believe what they've actually said. Like, nothing happened to provocate me getting out of the vehicle, you know, because they were trying to claim that they'd done nothing wrong, you know, and when in actual fact they had. So it was a bit of a fiasco, to be honest, but I still ended up with a Section 38, which is actually a criminal offence, and I don't have a criminal record. I don't have a criminal record at all. So I ended up with a criminal record because an off-duty police officer and her husband blatantly lied in court about what had happened. You know? I still got out of the vehicle. You know what I mean? But if they'd had admitted to what they'd actually done, if they'd actually told the truth about what they'd actually done, then the judge might have looked on me a little bit more favourably. But the window's been smashed there, you see that? So that's the entrance to the police station there. It's actually a really interesting gaff, this, because it didn't used to look like this. All this cladding here is extra. That was all added at a later date, and you know what that was added during that time then when they were putting cladding on buildings that isn't actually fire retardant. So I wonder if that's that same cladding. But yeah, I just thought I would talk about that. So, and here's the thing: out of all the encounters I've ever had with the police, I've never had any actual good ones. You know, and it's not due to. It's due to the suspicion of every single person that they encounter is a criminal, and they treat everybody as a criminal, regardless of whether you're a victim or not. You know what I mean? Like, I got my vehicle stolen from outside my residence one time. It was actually a silly thing for me. I left the keys in a position where somebody could get at them, and my vehicle got stolen. And there was a suspicion as to who it was that done it, because there was some people that were in the area that weren't normally in the area, and it wasn't just my vehicle that got stolen. It was there was other vehicles got stolen as well. So, but yeah. So, but then when they came out to question me about that, when they come out to get a statement and whatnot of when the vehicle was stolen and whatnot, they treated me like a suspect. They come in and they went, all right, okay, so you know, how did your vehicle get stolen? Because it's very unusual that vehicles get stolen nowadays, even though 3 vehicles in the town had all been stolen on the same night, you know. So, and I was like, how do you mean it's unusual for vehicles to get stolen? Vehicles get stolen all the time. So vehicle theft is a real issue in this country, you know? And he's like, no, it's not. You know, how did they start the car? And I'm like, with the freaking key, you know? And they were like, oh, you know, how did they get the key? You know, like, and I'm like, and they were instantly, I was being treated like a suspect in this crime. And I'm like, listen, mate, because if you want information, you better change your attitude, because I don't like it. I don't like the way you're questioning me, you know what I mean? And then the other day, actually, not too long ago, I had to have another conversation with some police officers, because I do like a project in the local area, and it's been suffering vandalism and whatnot. You know, just kids doing stuff. You know, so we were trying to get police officers to come up and do like a little patrol around the place. You know what I mean, and deal with it. And they acted like it wasn't part of their responsibility to do that. You know, so it was a really strange situation. You know what I mean? Oh, hello. You all right? Yeah. No, I'm fine, thanks. Right, thank you. I think he's a nice chap. Alright? Alright, how's it doing? Aye, so I don't know what the situation was with that, you know, but you know, I think he's actually coming to speak to me. Alright?
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine, yeah.
Just sort of wondering what you're up to, mate.
Alright, I'm doing a little story.
Alright.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm filming. Yeah.
I was just
The
wondering,
reason why
just
you're filming the police office?
Yeah, because I'm doing a story.
Sorry for what?
You'll see that when it comes out.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
Just, there's issues regarding...
What, somebody made a report?
Yeah, right.
Oh, somebody's made a report of me filming?
Yes.
Oh, they have, haven't
We're
they?
standing filming police office,
So you're K90, you're what? K789 and you're K63, yeah?
That's correct.
Okay. So who made this report? A member of the public?
Yes.
Right. And they reported that I was filming the police station?
Yes.
Alright, okay. And that's a crime?
No, it's not a crime, it's just the terror threat level at the moment is substantial. So,
Terror threat?
So, well, we investigate
Alright.
everything that could be potential suspicious, that's all.
Alright, okay. Well, I've explained that I'm doing a
Well, you've not really just said you're filming
yeah, I'm doing a story.
a story.
Yeah.
Just a story.
Yeah.
Can I ask your name?
No. Am I legally obligated to give my name?
No, you're not, no.
Okay, well, I'm not giving you my name then.
Okay.
Alright.
Haven't
Anything else?
you pretending and standing here all day filming the police officer?
No, I just came out this morning.
And I'll watch
Eh?
it with interest when it comes out.
It's about an officer actually in the police station, but I'm not going to divulge what the information is just yet.
Okay.
But if you want to watch it on YouTube, you
Yep.
can watch it on YouTube.
And how will I find it on YouTube?
Just Google Paisley police station, and the probably be videos come up already.
And when you planning on uploading it?
I'll probably edit it today and then upload it.
Today?
Yeah.
I'll watch
yeah.
that with interest then.
Alright. Okay, cool. Alright.
And you staying here all day or?
No. I was actually just finishing up when you walked out.
Okay,
Yeah.
honest.
Alright. Okay.
Will you leave it there?
Alright, thanks a lot. That was interesting. I've heard of them doing that before, but you know, talking about terror threats and whatnot, you know, like they have to treat everything suspiciously. And I think that just plays into what I actually just said about them treating everybody with suspicion. I mean, I haven't left this pavement here, you know, so I don't know why me filming the police station doing a story would be, and why do I need to divulge what story I'm making, you know? It kind of changed his attitude towards the end, you know, when he knew that I knew my rights. But it's interesting anyway, isn't it, you know? And like the other guy was looking really intently at the front of my camera. Don't know why. But it's interesting. I wonder what's on the front. Oh, he was, I see. Oh, he was trying to see the name on. I didn't even realise I had my ID badge on the back there. I got my shooting club ID on my back, on the back of my back of my phone. And now he's googling to see. Did you see my name on that ID badge? Did you? Did you see my name on that ID badge? Did you? Eh? Yeah. All right. And now you're googling to see if I've got any warrants outstanding. Yeah. No. All right. You're not running my name, no? No. All right. Okay. Eh? Yeah, that's my ID badge. Yeah, for my. Yeah. Huh? Yeah, okay. I forgot that was on there. I was wondering why you were looking so intently at the back of my phone. I was like, what's on there that I can see? I'll have to make sure and take that out of there next time. But yeah, so anyway, I think I'll call it a day once these guys leave, you know, so I don't know why they're hanging about. He's just standing there like, I'm sure they've got other criminals to go and deal with, but we'll see what happens, you know. And but I just wanted to make that little story about what happened to me, because it's annoyed me for quite a few years now, it was actually a few years back that it actually happened, and I just wanted to make that video about what happened, just to explain to people that these people that here, they're not always here for your protection. They don't always act in your best interests, which is not always the case. And the laws in this country are kind of funny. The laws in this country are actually becoming a little bit tyrannical in terms of, you know, what their powers actually are. And the fact that you're not even allowed to defend yourself when it comes to like when people are committing acts of aggression towards you, you're not allowed to defend yourself. In all circumstances, you have to call the police, even though it doesn't look like they've got much to do when they're coming out questioning me and whatnot. But nevertheless, it's a difficult situation to be in this country in terms of the law. If you know your rights and you stay on the right side of the law 100% of the time, then you can do all right. But I bet you any money he just googled my name, just ran my name through their database, and they realised exactly who I am, because I've made umpteen complaints about the police not doing their jobs in terms of like the vandalism, like where I do my volunteering, and you know, and like people destroying like the projects that we work on and that, you know, setting them on fire and whatnot, you know. So, and the police don't really seem to be bothered about, you know, doing any sort of patrols or anything in that area, even though it's a risk to public health, you know. So they probably know exactly who I am now, you know. And I make complaints. When I make complaints, I take it all the way to the public service, the Scottish Public Service Ombudsman, you know. I take them all the way, you know. I could take up as much time of their pencil pushing office staff as I possibly can, because that's the best way to actually get at them. That's the best way for them to just ignore you. You know, like if you're not somebody who breaks the law, and if you're not somebody who, like, when they come into contact with you, then they're more likely to leave you alone. If they think, oh, this guy's not worth the paperwork, you know, this guy's not worth having to write out what actually happened and what this, you know, and this kind of stuff, you know. So, yeah. But I can't believe I left my bloody ID card. I've got my shooting ID card. I'm a member of a shooting club, and I left that bloody ID card on display on the back of my phone, because I keep it there just so it's handy when I got to the shooting club. I know that I'm not going to forget it. And the back of my phone has got a clear bit on the back, and I was like, why is he looking so intently at the back of my phone? And I just realised my ID badge is on the back of there. That's just a major cock up by me, that, you know. And he's like, all right, Stuart, yeah, thanks, Stuart, you know. And I was like, yeah. But then as soon as he said my name and as soon as he knew who I was, he just buggered off. But they'll Google it and they'll find out exactly what I was doing here, you know, because that officer under the name of Feeney, I can't 100% remember, I think her name was Laura Feeney and Martin Feeney. I think it was that. I don't know how high up in this police station she operates, but nevertheless, the two of them blatantly lied in court, and I ended up with a criminal record. And a Section 38 isn't anything to cry home about, you know. It's a shouty finger, you know what I mean? Like, it's not like a major crime or anything, but it still annoys me that I had to accept that, because I've got a clean record, you know. And any time, especially when I have to apply for like visas and stuff like that, I have to put in those visa applications that I've got a Section 38, and other countries might not know about what a Section 38 is. So when you're applying for a visa to go, you know, abroad, because I do a lot of travelling and whatnot, when you're applying to go abroad, then you end up having to disclose this information, and people don't always know what a Section 38 is, and they don't particularly want like anybody like coming into their country with a criminal record, regardless of what it might seem it is. It might seem serious to them when really it was just me going up and going, what the fuck is your problem? You know? But hey ho. Am I going to be here all day? Fuck that, it's too cold for that shit. Anyway, I'm going to scuttle off. I've actually parked my car in the car park across the road, and I don't particularly want them to see me getting in my car because they could target me out. My car's legal, it's insured, taxed and MOT'd, but they could end up pulling me over one day when I've got my rifles in there or something and cause a problem with that, you know. But this is the situation that we're in this country. But my battery's running low, so I'm going to call it a day at that. I might edit the video, I might put the raw footage on, because a lot of edited videos you don't actually see what's fully going on. And to be fair, in all fairness, other than them coming up and asking questions, which is fair enough, you know, like they were actually quite friendly. And he had a fairly, he was, the other guy that caught my name on the ID badge, he had a little giggle about it, and I had a little giggle about it, so they were actually alright. They're not too bad, those chaps. And the guy, when he sort of changed his attitude a little bit when I knew my rights, it came up, he was a little bit kind of hostile and a bit like, oh, you know, but then he kind of changed his attitude a little bit, you know, you could see the personality, demeanour change a little bit, you know, so that was alright. But anyway, have a good day, and I hope you like this video. And now that I've explained what that was, hopefully people don't get caught by the same thing. So under no circumstances confront anybody or defend yourself in Scotland, because you'll be breaking the law. If there's a means of escape, if there's a means of avoiding it, or if there's a means of getting away from the person that's threatening you or whatever, then don't stand your ground and don't defend yourself, because in this country that's against the law, and they'll jail you just along with the other people. And like, there they are up there, they're looking out the window at me. Oh, they're looking out the window at me. Anyway, I'm going to make like a tree, and I'm going to leave before I give them any more cause to worry, you know. He obviously knows I haven't got any outstanding warrants in my name, and that I'm not wanted by the police because he hanged my name, he ran my name. But I don't think anybody, a member of the public, drove past on this road here and reported that I was filming the police station. I mean, seriously, I mean, that's just ridiculous in itself. But that's nearly 30 minutes I've been out here, so, and I'm freezing my nuts off. It is Scotland at the end of the day, so I'll leave you to it. Alright, bye.